So you want me to stand here? I thank people in the speech.
That's okay. The cards are collected.
Yeah.
You say thank you all very much.
Okay.
Deeply appreciate whatever you want to do. And then you say we listen now to
It's basically just.
I know, but I want to write it. No one's here. For the late show. The topless show. To the melody of the Kol Nidre. Of Kol Nidre or let Kol Nidre. Yeah, but no, you did a great job. So what do I do? Stand up here and look like an idiot?
That makes it like 3 minutes.
Okay. Where are you gonna be?
So I'm gonna give myself for like a 20 seconds. Can I introduce you? And then I'll be helping the men's club collect cards. And
Thank you. And then we're supposed to Silas wants us to give him all the cards. He's got a bag full of bags.
Oh, you scared me. She went like this. We have a nurse. She went like this and went.
Listen
All
now
right.
to the melody.
So we didn't go down to that lower key.
So why don't you give me the high side?
Too high.
I mean, you're just saying it. Yeah, I'll just give it to you.
But he doesn't want to say it.
But it's not transcribed. So so we have it broken down.
You don't care. You don't care.
212. We're gonna probably hit 19-ish like last year.
Okay, we're going to do reaching for peace and then we're going to go get a drink. Okay.
For the water.
Reaching for peace.
May the one who makes peace in the heavens, may the one who draws darkness from the light, send the peace to fall.
Came at a Jewish fight. Why are we doing it with the symbol? Like, are the words written in the inside of the letter?
I'll bring you guys in 40 minutes. Yeah, no, fine.
You can carry it all by yourself. 6:15, but we're supposed to be here at 5:15.
Well, that is what my name means.
Wait, but you're not allowed to say anything, Aaron. Everybody thinks it's Molly. What? Wait, what?
Yes, he's well, but my mom is not here. My grandma had. Oh, right. I was going to say the girl. Okay, I'll be back.
Yeah. Adult front accusing. I printed it, so it came in, I had it, it's all highlighted. Different? Yes, because we're not
Shana Tova, everyone. My name's Eddie Simon. I'm the Executive Director of Congregation Ner Tamid. As you make your way to your seats, I just want to give you a couple of quick security and logistics announcements. Please remember to refrain from parking directly in front of Kohl's, CVS, or any of the other retail stores. They will tow your car, so make sure you're in the back of the Kohl's parking lot. That is the section that's designated for us. In the event of any kind of emergency, please check your surroundings and identify your exit. If you have some form of medical emergency, we have a first aid station directly across from the sanctuary in the multipurpose room. Please remember to turn your cell phone on silent and your ringer off. Please remember to have your name badge displayed. We want to create a Hamish community where everyone knows each other, and that really helps us. From everyone in the office staff of CNT, I just want to wish you all Shana Tova and a Gamar Chatama Tova. With that, I will introduce Alan Mann, our Kol Nidre chair.
Shana Tova, a good year. I'm Alan Mann, and I've been a member of Temple for over half my life. I was married here. My wife Dina converted here. 3 kids through religious school, bar mitzvah, b'nai mitzvah, was married again by the 5th grade class, same bride. 3 tours of duty on the board, and now my daughter, inspired over the years by our clergy, both past and present, is being ordained as a cantor this spring. I'd say this place has been okay for the man so far. A little while ago, like most of you, Dina and I parked at Kohl's, walked across and through the courtyard, entering Temple through those huge front doors. And I thought, it's only been a short 15 years ago that we all entered the building for the first time, marching through those same doors with the Torahs that we're ready to pray from tonight and tomorrow. That was a fast 15 years for sure, and I see some nodding in agreement. Many of us grew up in temples that were 50, 100, or more years old, built by past generations with names on plaques on lobby walls, most of whom were no longer alive. But not here. We built this temple, and we will keep this temple, our Jewish home, Congregation Ner Tamid. And who knows, maybe 50 years from now, our grandkids, great-grandkids, or great-great-grandkids will ask, who built this temple? And the answer is we did. As Jerry Gordon said on Rosh Hashanah, no one had a playbook for 2020 and 21, and we took our hits. But now, our membership is growing. The religious school is packed. Enrollment of over 155 kids, the second most ever. Our preschool is thriving, sisterhood and mensch clubs at record numbers. Our lay leadership and board of trustees are active and engaged. And with Rabbi and Cantor, Eddie Simon, Roberta Unger, and staff, and all our volunteers and committees, CNT is offering more services and programs to our members than we ever have. And tonight, we will pray in a safer and more secure building due to new security enhancements, both seen and not. Jerry told us last week that C&T is firmly on solid ground. Some of our past temple presidents will be on the bema tonight, and they will certainly tell you that this hasn't always been the case. And yet C&T has always been blessed with strong and committed lay leadership that has brought us to where we are today. However, a temple doesn't run itself. Our membership dues, school fees, and rental income make up roughly a little more than half of our annual budgetary needs to run this campus. The rest of what's needed must come from fundraising, the hallmark of which is the yearly appeal at Kol Nidre. For those of you, so many of you who have pledged generously so far this year, on behalf of C&T, I thank you. You were handed an envelope when you came in this morning, or this evening. I ask you to take a moment and consider increasing your pledge so that C&T and all that we have built will continue to grow and thrive. Or you may make an initial gift of tzedakah. Please fill out and pass your pledge cards to the end of your row. Our Mensch Club ushers will collect the envelopes. For those of you streaming online, you can pledge on the temple website or call Eddie or Roberta in the temple office. Gemar Chatima Tova. May all of us be sealed in the book of life. We listen now to the melody of the Kol Nidre.
Good Yontif, everyone. Please, if you will, close your eyes. For too many, it's been a while since we've been in this sacred space. We've watched from afar through the lens of a television, through technology. But here we are in this holy place. Let us feel the sacredness of the quiet. Touch the air around us. Feel a sense of the community that joins with us. And give thanks that we have arrived at this moment that we can be together. And as we gently open our eyes, Good Yontif, everyone. Good Yontif. We open up our Machzor, page 18. Today is Yom Kippur. At a Shabbat service, we would say Shabbat Shalom. On any other holiday, we might say Hag Sameach, or Happy Holiday, but not on Yom Kippur. On Shabbat and other holidays, we spend some time at temple. At home, we sit around our tables and sing songs, say the Kaddish to bless the wine and eat special foods, but not on Yom Kippur. On Yom Kippur, we greet each other with the special phrase, Gamar Chatima Tova, may your name be sealed in the book of life for the year to come. On Yom Kippur, most Jews try not to eat any food the whole day. We call this act of not eating fasting. Yom Kippur is a day of fasting. Yom Kippur is a day for looking deeply at ourselves together.
It's a quiet day. We come to temple to think and pray.
Our thoughts turn to God and the special part God plays in our lives.
Our thoughts turn inward to ask, what kind of person have I been?
How have I acted in this year that has passed?
Did I always do the right thing? Did I always do my best?
We look back to ask, could I have done better if I tried a little harder?
Did I blame others when I should have rightly blamed myself?
Yom Kippur is a time for saying, I'm sorry, and really meaning it.
On Yom Kippur, we remember what we did so we may learn to do better.
As we turn to the candle lighting, we ask that members of our staff come forward in appreciation. In a moment, we will take our Torahs out for the Kol Nidre. So I'd like to call up the Pence family, the Spielman family, the Kurtzman family, the Wertheimer family, the Brislin family, the Katz family. And since there's so many people who are coming, just kind of gather right over here, if you will. All right? If there's anyone left in the sanctuary, you can come too, all right? Hold tight. Just hold tight. Don't Page 19. Repentance is more than saying, I'm sorry, more than embarrassment, more than the discomfort of being caught, more than an effort to avoid punishment. It is a sincere change within. Teshuvah, a sincere turning back to a better path. Such teshuvah lets us live at peace with ourselves. People sometimes suppose that repentance is too high-priced. They look at what they will have to give up, at appetites they will have to curb, at habits they will have to break, at things they will have to set aside. They forget the fact that no matter what the price of repenting may be, it is never as high as the price of not repenting. The best cure for a sense of guilt is a sense of duty, and no later hour will ever be better for the purpose of repenting than this very hour. An old and cherished prayer is recited by Jews everywhere each Yom Kippur evening. Its name is Kol Nidre. Its music is haunting and ancient, and so we listen now to its sound.
Kol Nidre v'sarei v'charamei v'konamei v'chinuyei v'kinosei u'shavot. Din darna udeish tevana udeacharim na vida asar na al nafshatana Yom Kippurim ze ad Yom Kippurim haba alinu litova kulhon yicharat novehon kulhon yehon shiran shvikin shivitin b'teilin umvutalin la sheririn v'la kayamin nidrana nidrei ve'esarana la'esarei u'shavu'atana la'shavu'at.
Together, do not hold us to our promises to you, O God, if we cannot keep them. For we mean well when we make promises, but you know we are only human, and human beings sometimes forget, sometimes promise things more than they can keep, and often make mistakes. Yom Kippur is a day which allows us to make peace with God for the things that we have done which missed the mark. Yom Kippur does not automatically make peace for us with other people. We ourselves must ask forgiveness of all the people whom we have hurt by missing the mark. Together, Master of the universe, today I forgive everyone who has hurt me and everyone who has done me wrong. I forgive them whether they did it on purpose or did it by accident. I forgive them whether they hurt me by what they said or whether they hurt me by what they did. Today I forgive them. Just as I forgave everyone who did me wrong, I ask all those whom I have hurt to forgive me. I am sorry for those things which I did on purpose, and I am sorry for those things which I did by accident. I ask to be forgiven for the things I said which hurt others, and for the things I did which hurt others. Adonai, please wash away the things I have done which missed the mark. Help me to make sure that I never repeat any of these wrongs again. Please be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim. Your world is like a puzzle, God, and all the pieces fit together. The sun lights up the earth by day.
Moon and stars glow at night.
Icy winds make us shiver in winter.
Gentle winds cool us in summer.
Red and brown leaves crunch beneath us in fall.
Flowers smell sweet in the spring.
Awake is a time to play and learn and love.
Asleep is a chance to rest and grow.
Your world is like a puzzle, God, and all the pieces fit together.
We praise you, eternal God. You created the world and all its wonderful pieces.
Judaism begins with the commandment, "Hear, O Israel," but what does it really mean to hear?
The person who listens to the news and thinks only of how it will affect their own business hears but is not listening.
The person who walks amid the songs of birds but doesn't have the time to listen to their song hears but is not listening.
The one who listens to the words of a friend or a child and does not catch the note of urgency, notice me, help me, care about me, hears but is not listening.
People who stifle the sound of their own conscience and believe they have done enough already hear but are not listening. On this Yom Kippur, O God, sharpen our ability to hear.
May I hear the music of the world and the cries of children and the needs of my family.
May I hear the call for help of the lonely soul and the sound of a breaking heart.
May I hear the words of my friends and also their unspoken pleas and dreams.
May I hear within myself the yearnings that are struggling for expression.
May I hear you, O God. May we hear you, O God.
Let us rise for the Shema.
Shem kavod,
So we move to the V'ahavta on page 22. We call upon the Nidre board members who are here.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היו על לבביך ושיננת לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלבתך בדרך ושכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם אני אדוני אלוהיהם אשר הוצאתי אתם מארץ מצרים להיות להם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיהם אדוני אלוהיהם אמת.
Together, you shall love the eternal God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I am your eternal God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God. What does it mean to be a Jew? You shall be holy. What does it mean to be a Jew? You shall be a holy people. Holy in our past is the memory of redemption from Egyptian bondage. Twice holy in our past are those who gave their lives to hallow this world. And holy are those whose lives are songs in freedom's cause.
Many nights we prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts a hopeful song we barely understood. Now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could.
In this time of fear, when prayer so often proved in vain, hope seemed like the songbird birds too swiftly float away. Yet now I'm standing here with heart so full I can't explain, seeking faith and speaking words I never thought I'd say.
If you happen to be sitting with a grandchild or with a child who belongs to you, this next prayer on page 24 is meant for that type of dialogue. Parents turn to their children. All right, if your children aren't with you, you can choose which part you want to play.
I'll be the child.
Okay. Parents, sometimes I do things you do not understand.
Sometimes I do things you do not understand.
I'm willing to listen, even though sometimes it's hard for me to truly hear you.
I need to discover my own truths, but I will try to hear what you say.
I will strive to listen to your needs, be sensitive to the needs of others, and not lose sight of my own needs.
I will strive to listen to your needs, be sensitive to the needs of others, and discover my own needs as I come to learn more about myself.
I will try to see the wonders of the world through your eyes.
I will try to share my joys with you and to find worth in the ideals you value.
You are important to me, and I will try to show you my love each and every day. I shall always try to make our time together meaningful.
Although I do not always tell you, you are important to me, and I will search for even more ways to grow closer to you and make more room for you in my life.
May this new year be a year in which the hearts of parents will turn toward their children,
and the hearts of children turn toward their parents. Amen.
Amen. We rise for the Amidah.
Eloheinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Reah, Ha'el
הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומר חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר הסדה אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באחווה. מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל, אתה רב להושיע. מוריד אתה, מחיי חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומחיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדום מלך, מלך ממית ומחיים, ומצמיע ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל.
There is holiness when we strive to be true to the best we know. There is holiness when we promote family harmony.
There is holiness when we love truly and honestly and unselfishly.
There is holiness when we are willing to be laughed at for what we believe in.
There is holiness when we forget what divides us and remember what unites us.
There is holiness when we remember the lonely and bring cheer into a dark corner.
There is holiness when we share our bread, our ideas, our enthusiasm.
On Yom Kippur, we take one last long look behind, especially to see how we might have done just a little better, seeing the things that we would really like to change.
Baruch atah Adonai, melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh Yisrael v'yom ha-kippurim, melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh Yisrael v'yom ha-kippurim, v'yom ha-kippurim.
Please be seated. We turn now our thoughts to a prayer of hope and healing, to those who are part of our circle of family and love who are in need of our prayers. We think of those who are struggling with matters of the heart and mind, addiction too. We think of those who are caregivers who give of themselves tirelessly so that those who are in need are ministered to with resiliency, hope, and love. And so if you're watching on the web streams, please submit names now into the web stream. For those who are here, we listen to these names that have been submitted to the office. We think of Bessie and Jean-Marc Chaubert, Logan Knapp, the Knapp family, Valerie Rocher, Yirmiyahu Ben Sarah, Angela Thompson, Dory Kurtmans, Sonny Spiewak, Bill Watson, Barbara Kleek, Mindy Backrack, Yochanan Leabat, Sarah Rivka, Stephen Grau, Laura Grau and Jerry Grau, Karen Murkow and Jeff Murkow, Della Costa, Marlene Acosta, Anthony Sainz, Paul Schiffman, and Tommy Urbanski. Say, look out at the congregation if you'd like to say the name of someone special to you for a prayer of healing. Please simply stand and say their names as I look your way. Simply say the names, please.
Dennis Myers, Kenneth Shore, Hadley Chenin, Harriet Saleman.
So we join together now in a prayer of hope and healing. Misha Berach.
Sheberach Avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Sheberach Imoteinu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Verachel.
May the one who bless our mothers
May the one who blessed our fathers
hear our prayer.
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 Bless us as well.
Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May the pain and loneliness of feeling be diminished by the power of your love. Misha Berach Avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Misha Berach Imoteinu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Verachel. Bless us as well. Bless us with the vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Misha Berach Avoteinu, Misha Berach Avoteinu. Hear our prayer, 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 hear our prayer. Bless us as well. Hear our prayer, 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 hear our prayer. Bless us as well.
Al Chait, on page 27. The Hebrew word chait is usually translated as sin. We sin when we make a mistake or when we do the wrong thing, when we know what is right. May it be your will, Adonai, the God of our ancestors, to forgive our sins and grant us a new beginning, for we have missed the mark. For the sin we have sinned against you,
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha.
together by acting selfishly, by hurting others, by not respecting parents and teachers, by lying, by being greedy, by gossiping, by acting irresponsibly, by cheating, by rushing to do evil. For all these sins, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, and grant us a new beginning. With thoughts of God uppermost in our minds, we are ready to ask for God's forgiveness. There were times when we did not tell the truth. We were not honest. There were times when we failed to respect our religion and our synagogue. There were times when we used God's name to make promises that we did not keep. For these things, for all the things we have done wrong, we ask God's forgiveness and we say,
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha.
for the sins which we committed, we are sorry.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha.
For not always trying to be the best we could be.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha.
When we forgot to honor our parents, grandparents, and teachers.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך.
For times we acted badly even when no one was watching.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך.
For times we were unfair to others. For times we hurt others without their knowing.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך.
For times we blamed others for things we had done.
ועל כולם אלוהך סליחות, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, כפר לנו.
For all of these, O God of forgiveness and love, forgive us, pardon us, bring us closer to you on this Yom Kippur, this day. O God of forgiveness and love, on this Yom Kippur, help us change our ways. Give us always the courage and strength to do what is right and what is pleasing in your sight. Be with us when we do well, but even more in our moments of weakness at times when we miss the mark. Show us your love and patience. Grant us always the wisdom to change and the strength to try.
ברוך אתה אדוני מקור מחילה ורחמים. Blessed are you, O God, source of forgiveness and kindness.
Now, as we close our eyes and pray quietly, sing the words without sound, we think of ways we could try harder and do better next year. We look at the prayer on the top of page 29 or the prayers on page 30 and let them speak to our own hearts. On page 29, if you have parents, grandparents, children, or friends, turn to your parents, grandparents, friends, brothers, sisters, whoever is sitting beside you. If you feel like it, give that person a hug. If you feel like it, I know. You can bump fists. We'll modify the liturgy. Now, repeat after me, looking at each other, saying to each other, Slicha,
Slicha,
I am sorry.
I am sorry.
For anything I might have said that hurt you, I am sorry.
For anything I might have said that hurt you, I am sorry.
For anything I forgot to do that I should have done, I am sorry.
For anything I forgot to do I should have done, I'm sorry.
Slicha, please forgive me.
Slicha, please forgive me.
From deep inside, from our heart of hearts, with all the love we have to offer, let us say to one another, Slachti, I forgive you.
Salachti, I forgive you.
On page 31 is the Avinu Malkeinu. We call up the Greenest family, Renee Diamond, and the Star family for the honor of accompanying the art curtains as they are opened for Avinu Malkeinu.
Please rise.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Kolenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, hear our voice.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu Lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, we have sinned against you.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol Aleinu, V'al Aleinu, V'tapeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and our children.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kalei Dever V'cher V'rav Me'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, make an end to sickness, war, and famine.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kalei Kol Tsar U'mastin Me'aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, make an end to all oppression.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kotvenu B'Sefer Chaim Tovim.
Avinu Malkeinu, inscribe us for blessing in the book of life.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chadesh Aleinu Shana Tova.
Avinu Malkeinu, let the new year be a good year for us.
Avinu Malkeinu, Harim Keren Yisrael Amecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, give strength to your people Israel.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu V'anenu, Ki ein banu ma'asim. Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed, v'hoshienu.
Avinu Malkeinu, be gracious and answer us, for we have little merit. Treat us generously and with kindness, and be our help.
Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu v'aneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu v'aneinu, ki ein banu ma'asim. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed, v'hoshienu. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed, v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu v'aneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu v'aneinu, ki ein banu ma'asim.
Well, good Yontif, everyone. So, I got a question. How many of you here, and this is a family service, okay, kids? How many of you have ever had a bad day? I know all the adults are going to go like this. All right, we've all had the bad day. And we even got a few sound effects over here. I know I have. A moment in time when things just don't go the way I planned. Sometimes it would get me down the entire day. Sometimes it would put me in a bad mood and I would snap at people who I cared about. They might even ask me, "How are you? Is something wrong?" And you go, "Nothing's wrong. Don't bother me. Just leave me be." How many of you have that happened to? Yeah, pretty much all of us. So I want to share a story of one such instance that happened to me and my wife. We were all dressed up and going out for the evening. We were going to one of those big, beautiful casinos on the Las Vegas Strip. a night out. You know, people come from all over the world for this, so we're just kind of lucky to have it, right? But along the way, the phone rang in the car. My wife picked it up while I was driving, and I was focused on driving and couldn't quite hear what was going on. All I knew was that within a short period of time, the conversation got a bit rough. I could only hear one side and not the other, but when she hung up the phone, sadness filled her entire body. I tried to ask what was going on, and I got crickets. No reply. She sat there on the way over with a look of gloom on her face, and her mind seemed to be somewhere else. So much for a nice evening out. Do you want me to turn the car around and go home, I asked. No, just keep going. We planned for this evening a long time. Let's just go and try to have some fun. It will do me good. I wasn't sure how we were going to have fun at this point, but I kept driving and kind of walked on eggshells. Later on, we parked the car and found ourselves in an elevator. Just the two of us and a stranger. The stranger looked at us. I don't know what was going through his mind, but he could clearly see that something was wrong. And this total stranger reached out to my wife with kindness. It was an awkward moment for everyone in the elevator. The stranger said, "It's okay." My wife said, No, I'm just having a bad day. He said, "It's okay. We all have bad days." All three of us left the elevator at the same time. And he turned to us with his cell phone in hand because he didn't speak English. He used Google Translate to share his thoughts. He wrote something in Spanish, and the computer on the phone translated it. Time heals everything. And then he left. This mystery man didn't have to care about us at all, or my wife in particular, but his simple act of kindness changed the entire mood. At first, an awkward moment, which became an embarrassing moment, morphed into a moment filled with selfless kindness, reminding my wife and I that, you know what, there are good people in this world. So a few weeks go by, and my wife and I were on vacation, and we were in Bethel, Pennsylvania, the home of, oh my God, we're in trouble now, the home of Woodstock. Now, if you haven't heard of Woodstock, go ask your parents or grandparents. But it was a place where lots of people came together to make music and share their ideas of love and peace. But now people come to visit it. It's kind of like a shrine. And at the very end of this shrine, there is the obligatory gift shop. And there, at the end of this museum, this gift shop has all kinds of stuff. You can even buy a piece from the stage at Woodstock for $100, okay? I believe it is an actual piece of that stage. Well, you look around, you know, a t-shirt for $75, a mug for $50, a piece of the stage, and I don't know, everyone wants to buy something, and some are just browsing. And so my wife happened to notice a young couple looking at all the items. And they were really so happy to be there, and you could tell that they were excited, but the price of the souvenirs was just out of their reach. The next thing I knew, my wife picked up the souvenir that they had been looking at and rang it up at the cash register and handed it to them. And their eyes lit up in disbelief. "Oh, no, we can't accept this." Yes, you must. "I want you to have it," she said. She understood the power and magic of an act of kindness, especially from a stranger. Well, you had to be there because before you know it, the stranger was crying and my wife was crying. And then the cashier was crying and said, "I want to give you my 10% discount and chip in." Such is the power of kindness. So that little souvenir was no longer so little. It now became something else. Whether it was a mug that they would drink from, or a t-shirt that they put on, or a necklace that they would wear, whatever that souvenir was, it now has, and will always have, a story attached to it of a stranger who entered their lives and did a random act of kindness. I suspect that all of us have a bad day. So might I suggest that one of the ways to get out of our bad days is to get out of ourselves and think of others. The stranger in the elevator was right. Time heals everything. But I think if we use our time to help others, our healing will happen just a little bit faster. Good gentif, everyone. We rise for the Aleinu on page 32. Please be seated. As we turn our Kaddish prayer, if you happen to be watching online, you want to submit the name of someone for Kaddish or Yortzeit, please do so at this time.
I should mention that our YouTube chat is disabled, so if you have a name that you want to submit, please do so in the Facebook chat.
As you listen to this Kaddish list, you will understand the sadness we have, for too many have died in the last few weeks. These are our Kaddish names: Jack Bolofsky, Leo Schoenfeld, Irene Schatz, Jeffrey Gale, Erwin Perlman, Elaine Heller, Joyce Cozzolino, Dick Hyman, Eileen Diamond, Frank Weinberg, Jack Stankard, Annie B. Luster, Arlene Cohen, Timothy Grushi, Louis Bradfield, John Brick. All have passed away in the last couple of weeks. We also think of those for Yortzeit: Carol Altman, Seymour Altman, Lillian Appel, Ella Baskow, Sally Berardi, Henrietta Cohen, Glenda Holland Cornstubble, Leonard Crystal, William Croft, Martha Davis, Rose Downs, Goldie Figlars, Sam Fine, Carol Frank, Leon Friedman, Mac Friedman, Roberta Genovitz, Charles Gogol, Joseph Goldshine, Celia Goldstein, Jerome Gollard, Jordan Goodman, Murray Gordon, Harry Gorlick, Leonard Gottlieb, Robert Hurwitz, Donna Higo, Ruth Cranston, Jerome Leviton, Philip Levy, Pat Lionel, Hetty Manger, Donald McBride, Benjamin Mendelsohn, Pepe Molaski, Davis Ostrov, Max Perlman, Joseph Polinsky, Sylvia Price, Samuel Reesing, Marion Rosen Krasner, Betty Rosenberg, Barbara Schulman, Philip Stein, Herman Steiner, Miriam Watson, Saul Wheel, and Frank Weinberg. If you'd like to say the name of someone who was not mentioned, please stand and say their names. Others, please stand.
Harriet Sallyman, Tandy Berman, Vincent Rodriguez, Al Levine, Lori Fayer, Bert Chapnick, R.J. Hirsch, Aryeh Frankel, Moshe Dome, Gili Chen, Safta Blanca, Jean Smith, Marty Reingold, Saul Fayer, Estelle Fayer, Ellen Joan Shore, Rick Kraser, William Reitnauer, Stephen Cohen, Rose Bernberg, Cheryl Rayburn, Ruth Cranson, Linda Feldberg, Regina and Sam Feldberg, Philip Feldberg, Lori Rubenstein, Ruth Stein, Paul Cranson, Lena Cranson.
We rise to say Kaddish, page 32. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah v'yalma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayed achol be'Yisrael Bagala b'zman kari v'yamru amen Yehi Shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olmei almaya Yit barak v'yish tabach v'yit ba'ar v'yit ramam v'yit naseh v'yit hadar v'yit taleh v'yit talal Shemei dekusha barichu Leila min kol berchata v'shirata tush berchata v'nechemata damiram b'yalma v'yamru amen Yehi shlama rabba min shamai v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yamru amen Ha'osei shalom b'mramav hu ya'asei shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. You may be seated. I'd like to call upon our temple president, Jerry Gordon, for a couple announcements. Jerry.
Lashana Tova. First, I'd like to thank our clergy, Rabbi Axelrod and Cantor Hutchings, and the Cantor's Intergenerational Choir, our choir director, Ricky Reinhardt, and violinist Lee Schreiber. Also, I'd like to recognize on the Bima, Bernie Tabak, our vice president for membership, who is filling in once again for Della Costa as our shamus. Della is still ill. Deanna DeArklin, our vice president of education. Julie Marcus, a former vice president on the board. And of course, I'd like to recognize Alan Mann for his assuming the responsibility for the Kol Nidre campaign this year and driving us all crazy over the last 2 weeks. Thank you, Alan, and a really good, successful campaign this year. Last week, the rabbi, after listening to my reservations about the length of the announcements, took it upon himself to edit them before I saw them. And it was a breath of fresh air. They were much shorter, much more distinct, and I really didn't do very much with them except announce them. Well, he did it again, but this time apparently he fell into the trap again, and he produced another very lengthy list of announcements. So I'm going to go. You
should have seen the original. It's trimmed from 12 pages to 2. Okay.
Yeah, yes, he just can't stop himself. In any event, I will go through and edit these and keep them very short. First, thank you to the Ritual Committee and Men's Club for ushering. We have many people who have contributed to this event, and they're listed on the board outside. So take a second and look. We really appreciate that. Our schedule for tomorrow, which usually I announce, but I don't have my tickets or anything in front of me. And what this says is our schedule for tomorrow is on your ticket and on the temple website. If you have any questions, ask any staff member and they can help you. That's a good announcement. Obviously, social action, social justice committees organizing the High Holy Day food drive. It runs through October 7th, but there are, please, if you come tomorrow, please bring a bag of fruit, non-perishables, and it would be a great help. On Thursday, October 13th, our preschool will host an open house at 6 p.m. So if any of you have preschool children and interested or know someone, again, October 13th at 6 p.m. at our preschool. The Sukkot Shabbat in the round in the Sukkah will be conducted on Friday, October 14th at 6:15, followed by a Sukkot dinner. Please sign up for the dinner on the website. Finally, the CNT's offices are closed through Thursday, October 6th in observance of Yom Kippur, and there will be no preschool tomorrow, Wednesday, October 5th. One final thing, and that is I'd like to follow up with regard to the Kol Nidre campaign. It's traditional just temple, and I will tell you that unlike any other Reformed temple that I'm aware of, and I was on the board for many years, it is a major, major event here. It contributes, as Alan said, about 10% of our budget. Josh Wertheimer, before, when I walked in, said, "Do you want the Sukkot, or the book?" And I said, "Kol Nidre," but sure. So I took it, and I pointed out to him I have been collecting these for over 20 years. And he asked me why. And I said, because my goal is to one day get up and say, guess what? There is only one family who has not contributed to Kol Nidre and will have 100%. Each year it increases, but we're about at 50%. So any of you who have not, please, it's not the amount, it's the fact that you do contribute. So if you're on the fence on it, please, just fill out the card or go online and contribute. It does, every penny allows us to increase our service, our programs, our services, do something additional. We have a list of priorities that will never end, because that's what we are. But as we go forward, we attempt to take one after the next and down and make it a permanent service or program. So, L'Shan Tova.
While the rabbi's talking, want to make a quick, I didn't get to look at the announcements, and there was a glaring error, and Lori Frankel is who is to give all of the credit to for directing our intergenerational choir, so want to make sure we say that, and we are definitely grateful to Ricky, especially for pinch hitting this service in place of Eddie Birch, who's done all of the rehearsals with the choir, and we hope that he feels better soon. And anybody here want to go to Israel? Anybody? I want to go to Israel. Just a few of you? Okay, well, this summer we're going to go to Israel with Jewish Nevada, so ask me about it later. I want to go too. And
it is June of next year.
Yes. And anybody want to get rid of hate? Me? Why isn't no one raising their hand? You like hate? Everybody likes hate in this room, I guess. Okay, so if you feel like getting rid of hate, we're going to stomp it out at the ADL Walk Against Hate on October 23rd. We're not having religious school. Instead, we're meeting to go with ADL and walk as a team, a congregation near to me team, at the ballpark. And
only these grades.
Oh, just kidding. So 4th through 7th, sorry, little ones. 4th through 7th, and so 4th through 12th are going to be going. And you have a code for it in the bulletin. You can ask Haley so that you can sign up and get all of the things that come with that, like a T-shirt and all those fun things.
I think we should end now because Lori wants to say something. So
perfect.
We're all right.
She did her job already.
Yeah. All right, Lori.
Okay, so I'm going to do it from over here. It's been a little while since I've been able to do it. Sometimes we have kids who start in the choir when they are in 2nd grade, and then it kind of makes me cry. Come here. And we have a senior this year. So I think she's... we have Emily Seaman, who has been singing with us straight for 10 years. So we are so sad to see her go. She will be going off to the Army? Marine Corps. Sorry. She'll be going off to the Marine Corps when she graduates. And we are so sorry to see her go. But we are so grateful for her. And I just want to put it out there that all of our kids who start in second grade and go up through their senior year have been really, really successful. We've had cantors, 2 cantors, come out of our choir. I'm sorry, 3, counting our own cantor, who come out of our teen choirs. Kids who start in second grade know their prayers if they've been singing with the choir. So I hope it's been a good experience, and we're going to miss you.
All right. I am guessing now whether you go out this door or that door, but traditionally it is that door. And if you could just kind of leave your machzor, be careful in the garden, and remember the next group is coming in right after you. We are going to rise now for our final song, Reaching for Peace.
Strength and